As I've seen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Drexel Free Thought Society Weekly Podcast. Sorry for the brief delay, but we had to get all the technology all settled. This is the chat portion, so we actively encourage people to join the chat on Spreaker right here. If you're listening, then you can join us immediately. You can also join us by emailing us at drexfreethought@gmail.com, or you can join us on our Skype account at drexelfreethought. Call in whenever, we'll put you right on the air, and then you can talk to us.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
It's the Drexel Free Thought Society.
This is
Yes,
the
it is.
Drexel Free Thought Society.
Good.
How may we help you?
Really hard. Sorry, in this case,
And
That's
we are
okay.
recording right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Speaker.
You can talk. That's fine.
And I just got through our spiel of this being the call-in portion. Who are you? Introduce yourself.
Normal Kadiri.
Oh, I talked to you recently.
Yeah.
I'm David.
I'm
Nice to meet
Dante.
you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm the mysterious one.
Good to know.
Alright, well, what do you think makes people human?
Well, let him take off his jacket.
Okay,
and sit
fine.
down.
We'll just talk for a bit, and you can feel no pressure to say anything, but join in whenever you want.
Alright.
Seems like we tend to get new guys coming in here and there and stuff. And for a while, it was just me and David. For those of you just catching up, and now we got ourselves a new guy coming in, and he's gonna also discuss about what actually makes us human.
We started going through a lot of the religious examples, and we ended the first portion of the show with souls. And a lot of people think that the only thing that really makes humans human is we are born with an innate nature of a soul endowed on us from our creator.
He just did the quotes.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. We're still trying to figure out what the heck a soul actually is in the first place.
Oh, and just on a random Facebook group of creationism versus evolution open debate, a guy called out everyone to challenge them to a debate on the subject. So I invited him to call into the show, and I'm waiting.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to show up.
Oh.
His name's Johnny.
As you can tell, David doesn't really care for Johnny too much, other than to challenge.
I think Johnny's a troll and a coward,
See?
but I don't think he's stupid.
Yeah,
So-
most trolls aren't stupid.
This is why
They're
I
very
think,
good at trolling.
this is why I'm calling him on his bluff. I want him to actually defend his position instead of continually running away. Okay, that's Johnny.
Well, that's
Anyway.
even right.
So, you have any insight on what basically it means to be human? I mean, what does that mean,
To be honest, not really.
anyways?
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm not going to give my opinion on something I haven't really given enough thought to,
That's fair.
That's fair enough.
Okay, so what are their general characteristics? Like, a big thing about being people is that we have a particularly large brain. And we have I think we do have the largest brain to body ratio of any animal ever. I think the only animal that gets really close to us are like dolphins. But no, we're quite clever.
That is true.
I find this really interesting. I actually heard this the other day. Why is it that dolphins have been able to learn human phrases, but no human has actually ever been able to learn, in quote, dolphinese?
That actually segues into a fantastic conversation. There's a lot of things. I think we brought this up in last week's podcast. In people's arrogance, we assume that we're better than all the other animals. But like dogs can learn human language. Like even if it's like a really rough kind of learning. I'm looking at my phone because people might be emailing us. Nope, not yet.
Yeah, when I hear the word "learn" for animals, I feel it's more of like conditioning. Like, you know what Pavlov's conditioning is, right?
Well, yeah, but have you actually looked at those experiments?
They might be really crude and.
Well, I mean, they like ripped open the side of the dog's face and like put tubes into his salivary glands.
Yeah.
To perfectly measure how much he was drooling.
The hell?
Science, man. This is what happens before we had ethics committees. But no, well then what's the difference? What's the difference between conditioning and actually learning?
Well, I feel learning is more of the ability to apply what you know. Because when you actually do learn something, you don't just respond to one, should I say, stimulus. You can respond to a variety of stimuli, actually. But if you're conditioned to do one thing, you can only be conditioned to do one thing, really. I mean, to respond to a certain stimulus in a certain way. If you receive any other stimulus, let's call that stimulus Y, when you've only been taught X, you basically can't respond.
So what you're saying is learning is very malleable, is that it can go in any direction as far as what you're learning, what you're taking in. And conditioning is kind of like forceful learning. It's like they want you to learn, they want you to travel this one path.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
The same way in, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but in Catholic schools, this was long ago, really. If you wrote with your left hand, the nuns would basically hit you with like a ruler in your
left hands are evil.
Yeah,
obviously.
Apparently.
That's what they call it, sinister.
They conditioned them actually to learn how to write with their right hands instead of the left, which I think is really bad because from what I know about neurology, if you write with your left hand, it means you're left side dominant. I do everything with my right hand naturally. If you hand me something, I'm going to reach for it with my right hand. So basically, you're training me to, should I say, go against my innate nature. Because, I mean, no one is ever taught what hands to use when you're born. You just naturally fall into place, left or right.
I'm kind of the same way. It's like I never went to a Catholic place or anything. I don't ever recall being punished. But I remember my mom telling me that when I was little, I tend to write my left hand, but the people at the daycare always try to get me to write my right hand. As a result, I write my right hand. I can't write my left hand. But I drive with my left. Like if I'm driving one-handed, I drive my left hand. If I'm riding a bike, I ride my left hand. If I'm eating, like using a utensil, I use my left hand.
Exactly, you're left side dominant.
But yet, whenever I'm cleaning something, or if you hand me something, I use my right hand. So it's like my right hand, my left hand. I was taught to write with my left hand, but it seems like all the other tasks are totally random. Like each hand is assigned a different task, which I can't understand.
Because the way your brain operates is you compartmentalize things.
Yeah.
The way you learn.
Yeah, we just went over that.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So I feel, that's probably the reason why.
Possibly. So it's like my brain's trying to process this whole right thing, even though it's mostly left.
Mostly left.
You see, I'm right side dominant mostly, but I am partially ambidextrous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's extremely what activity I'm engaged in.
Oh, okay.
Determines a lot of what side of my body I use. And it's also partially because like my knees, I like injured my knee when I was like in high school. So like my left leg is significantly like more trustworthy
than your right leg.
So it doesn't matter if I'm right side dominant, I'm using my left one.
So it's like
it's almost like biological imperatives can be overrun by necessity.
It's like a compensation that the brain is doing in some ways. It's like, oh, this side's kind of messed up, so we gotta compensate for on the other side.
No, but the funny thing is that you brought up sinister. Like, I think it's sinistra. In Latin means left.
Yeah, sinister, sinistra.
So, yeah, sinister literally means just left is evil.
And again, that's the whole neology that we were talking about earlier. It's like people, they took the word sinister and then turned it into something evil, when in fact all it means is left. That's all it is, it's just left.
No, actually, that brings up an interesting idea. Is like, why would it ever matter?
What hand do you use?
Yeah, like what the hell? Like that doesn't. I think it just.
But the whole left hand.
No, it's the reason I'm bringing that up is I think it's human nature to designate an outgroup and focus all of your anger at them, so you don't have to focus inward whatsoever.
You know, from what I've noticed about human nature, human beings naturally just react negatively, like in a negative way, to people or things that are different from them. It's something I've seen since I was little. From as long as I could reason and notice things and observe my surroundings, I noticed human beings would always tend to segregate. That's contradiction. Or always tend. I'm sorry. They would tend, anyways, to segregate individuals who possess or display any traits that are not like popular within the group.
Xenophobia.
But you see, I think that there's a very evil.
There's a biological backing.
Yeah, I think there's a just natural tendency, as opposed to I'm just gonna flat out say it. I'm the white guy in the room, so like I think there is a natural tendency for people just to be like, you look different than me. That makes me like confused and nervous. And I think it actually takes people a while, like on a lot of exposure, to just get over it,
really
and realize that people have way more things in common than they have different. Like, I mean, like you and me, like we don't have like that much that's actually different about us than like, I guess, hairstyle and how much melanin we have in our skin. I mean, you and Dante actually probably look more different than like. Actually, I probably can't say that because I have a lot of like Anglican background. But I mean, you guys look incredibly different. If I just look at both.
But it's funny, they'll consider us both black, but we're totally different shades.
Totally different shades, facial structure. You have a much
like
longer
those two
face.
are black. That guy's white. What is like?
No, like
I'm probably like as far as my skin
like,
color goes.
You're
I'm not that far off from
it's
you.
like you're a delightful coffee color. You're pretty black.
Yeah, dark chocolate.
You're a dark chocolate.
And I'm actually not that far off from you.
You can see all of my veins. Like I'm as white as possible.
I can see any of mine.
But you know what? It's funny. You mentioned the xenophobia. I think that
that's what I mean. I think that's the distinction. It was like, and I think I brought this up on many podcasts. When I was younger, I did not come in. White suburbia. I did not come into contact with many people of color. We had a few family friends, and I would visit North Carolina on a regular basis to visit a family friend, but they were grown-ups. Like I never saw people really my age, so I didn't really register.
So we were
and there was a period of time where I had like, it's a weird phrase to say, but like a natural racism.
Wow, that's
a
really weird phrase.
No, I mean it wasn't ever like I wasn't mean to people.
It wasn't malicious. It was out of pure.
No, it was out of pure. This is weird and
say.
different. I don't like change. So it was
out your norm.
No, it was outside of my norm, and I did tend to just hang out with white people because it was comfortable. It was not challenging what I was used to, and then I got over it.
How did you get over it?
Exposure. And I think it literally is. Oh, you are exactly the same as me. Why did I even care beforehand? Don't I feel silly?
And it's just that skin color is just so noticeable. I mean, even if you were to take a group of white people and stuff, their eyes would be shaped slightly different, their hairstyles would be different, their heights would be different. You know, some may have long arms and shorter arms, but we tend to not really notice those very much. But what does stick out very much is shades of color, you know, because it's all over your body. Boom.
It's the first visual cue.
Yeah, it jumps out at you quick. Unless you had a horn going out of your head, then, you know, people
might notice that a little bit.
Yeah, but no, it's funny that you guys were mentioning the whole xenophobia thing and you know, be more comfortable with things that are closer to you. Because I think
that's the whole like why religious groups are so freaking closely knit.
I think possibly. I think that's a good hypothesis, but I also think that it kind of goes into why. And I did a paper on this one time. Why humans tend to fear certain animals more than others? Like if you take spiders and then you take
intense arachnophobic.
Yeah, and you take large cats. By far, large cats. And I'm talking about leopards, lions, tigers. They've killed more people. I mean, as far as we know, than spiders have ever done. But we are scared to death of spiders. I mean, there's just something about spiders that drive us nuts.
And I think it's because they're alien.
Yeah, they're very like a cat. You can kind of
you can extrapolate a leopard out of a house cat.
Yeah, but a spider. I mean, think about it. You look at a spider. Not only
thinking
is it
about
tiny,
spiders is making me nervous.
Yeah, so you saw. I apologize, David. I'll get through as quick as I can. But I mean, you look at the number of eyes. They very rarely have two eyes.
You're really helping, aren't you? My feet are getting antsy. Like, I'm actually preparing to sprint.
You know, I think I just proved my point. So we'll go. And just and a little bit on the side, a little bit off topic, I just now noticed, it's funny because when we talk about these things, you start noticing certain things. When I pick up my phone, my cell phone is sitting on my table, I'll sit there and I'll pick up my right hand and I'll immediately transfer it to my left hand and start messing with it. Now, I don't understand why that happens. I mean, I primarily use my left hand for this thing, but I will pick up my phone with my right hand and immediately place my left hand without me even thinking about it. That whole subconscious thing you were talking about last time, and just go to town on my phone with my left hand.
Yeah, this is why I think I think there are biological inclinations that lead to pretty much every single
aspect
human activity. good and bad, and neutral when it comes to your hand choices. I don't need to know what you do with your hands, Dante.
Here we go. Who saw that coming? Maybe it's human to think dirty, right?
Oh, yes it is. And I'm okay with that.
Well, here's some plague for you. Here, think dirty about that.
I don't want to think about plague. It's
brought,
gross.
You brought up plague last time when we were talking about swamps.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Swamps are pretty.
Plague.
How are swamps pretty?
I like swamps. They're cool.
Oh, you ever been to Tinicum?
They say like
Oh,
every
it's nice.
every spring break since I was really young, my family would go to North Carolina, and there's a lot of swamp down there.
Just go to John Hines Wildlife Refuge. There's a big old marshland over there. It's really nice.
Well, I'm gonna say it now. I am not a fan of the big outdoors, and that's really ironic because I'm from Africa. So people would really expect me to be like, "Oh my God, how are safaris?" I have never been on a safari.
Really? So like
I do not enjoy.
So you were like city born.
Yeah.
Where in Africa? If you don't.
Nigeria actually.
Oh, in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Nigeria.
Where's Nigeria?
It's in West Africa.
Thank you.
It's like the northwest part, right?
No, just West Africa.
Just west. Okay.
It's
Countries
like
are very
Africa
large in
were
Africa.
Ghana.
Yeah, they are pretty.
Yeah, we would be at the trigger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Oh wait, that entire corner.
Yeah.
Man, I really need to look at.
Stacked
I really need to
over.
look at a map.
Well, at least
Or
you know
a
the country.
globe. I should purchase a globe.
I
used
give
to be
you
pretty good
points
with
for
that.
that. There's people who actually don't know, like, Africa is not a country. Like, believe me, I've come into contact with a lot of ignorant people.
Well, ignorance I don't think is a crime, but willful ignorance is.
I feel in this day and age, I mean, this is not the time of Christopher Columbus, like, really.
It's like, what?
You can go on Google.
It's like there's a place called
You should be
America.
I don't know. I feel okay. It's
I
not
thought you could get straight to India from
exactly
England.
like. It's not like.
Well, you can. It would just take a while.
Yeah, it would take a really long while, depending on what you use, anyways.
Actually, isn't that the reason they made the Panama Canal?
Pretty much.
To kind of
think
was
so.
to break through Mexico.
Well,
Effectively.
so.
that and they didn't want to go around South America. The southern tip of South America has some of the worst weather in the world. It is horrible for sailing.
That's the part that's close to Antarctica, right?
Yes.
Anything close to
That would
Antarctica
be-
is not a very pleasant.
Yeah,
place.
I can imagine.
It's terrible down there.
Yeah, but anyways, I feel this is the 21st century. You can literally go on Google and look at the globe. You can see there's a lot more countries outside
Dude,
America.
Okay, so here's just a random fun thing.
All right.
Unless you're actually looking at a globe, which is a scale model of the Earth, all of our maps are lying.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that?
You can put it upside down, and it's not true to scale.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
Really
It's like
accurate.
no, Greenland is not that large. Africa is enormous.
It is massive.
Like
When I saw it,
like what is it? Like 6 Europes could fit in Africa.
It's
Which is
huge.
ridiculous.
and back to your previous point about people who don't like change. I remember the video I saw when they showed like this lady the map. It was upside down, like from what we know,
Yeah.
and it was true to scale. And she was freaked out. And she's like, they asked her, "Why don't you want the truth?" She's like, "Because it freaks me out."
Why don't you want the truth?
I mean,
No,
she's like,
that's-
"This
no, that is true,
how it
though.
is." And she's like, "No, it freaks me out. Could you put it back?"
You see, and this is the difference. When I learned that, I was gripping my desk. I'm like, this is so cool.
I was amazed that I'm so blind.
That was amazing.
Oh my, that was really an eye-opening moment for me.
So we humans just like to hide things.
We don't like to leave our comfort zone.
No, you think? I think this is an upbringing thing, like the whole nature versus nurture nonsense. I think you really need to be trained from a young age
To be uncomfortable.
to be okay with change. I think people have a general tendency to be like if they see a parent or someone freak out because something wasn't the way they expected, they'll just be like, okay, change is bad.
Yeah.
Got it. Never gonna do that. But then if you see an adult go through really difficult situations with stride, then you're just like, all right, I can handle change too.
Good point.
And it's hard to be a parent, and sometimes you freak out at them. You freak out at your kids, and you ruin them for the rest of their lives.
Which happens all too often in this country.
Especially in this country.
Well, and we can also all blame our public schools.
I mean, I went to private
Yeah.
school, so I don't really know the public school system.
Apparently, I went to one of the best public schools in the country with without noticing until I graduated from that public school.
Oh.
Mine was built on top of a landfill, and roaches tend to visit us often.
Huh.
Well, that's disturbing.
Well, that's different.
I'm being quite honest.
Well, where did your inquisitiveness come from?
Just the fact that we've gone to war with those damn roaches. I mean, they could take a milk carton straight to their body and keep walking.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Wow. I just picture that.
Yeah, it's scary. And it's funny because I'm really big into entomology and anything, and cockroaches are probably one of the few critters that legitimately freak me out. Unless they're Turkish roaches. They don't bother me too much.
You know what's really funny is I don't mind cockroaches at all unless they're crushed.
So crush roaches.
Oh, that is weird.
No, because they're like the densely packed bubbles of goo.
Uh-huh.
So I stepped on one once because I saw it and I'm like, cockroaches, we have to get rid of them. And then I just stepped on it, and then it took effort to pop. Like I really had to, I really had to put my weight on it.
Yeah,
and that
have
just
a pretty
creeped me the
sturdy
hell
exoskeleton.
Their chitinous exoskeleton is quite tough.
It is.
It creeped me out. Like I didn't expect it.
That's why people think they're beetles sometimes, because they're tough.
Anyway, so
Well, yeah, xenophobia. Cockroaches not like us, so we're going to fear them automatically. But we can kind of relate to leopards, even though they'll shred us. Which is funny. That's still. I mean, I understand it, but it's kind of weird.
It is. It's an interesting point.
It is. Like, I mean,
I would
you look
feel
at
more
insects.
comfortable around a lion or a tiger than I would around a snake. I legit hate snakes.
you see, I love snakes.
It's a shame.
There you go.
I own 3 snakes and 1 lizard.
Oh, I would not be visiting you anytime soon.
I'm actually helping a friend move, like, in a week or 2, and he has a pet tarantula. I'm like, if I see him, I'm leaving.
Wow.
Like, that's it. It's like, I won't be able to have my back turned to the room in which it is in.
Well, you can't let it out of your sight, really.
No, you see, it's
Yeah,
just
that would be
like,
terrifying
it's like spiders
experience.
aren't terrifying when you can see them. They're terrifying when you can't
Don't
see them.
I think that's also partially why people are just nuts about them. It's like, unless the spider is in my sight, as horrible as it looks, at least I know it's safe because it's over there. But if I know there's a spider in the room and it's not in the room,
I don't know. It could be right above me. You
and the
never
thing
know.
is,
Stop talking, damn it!
Oh my god.
the funniest part is you're probably almost never. There's probably a point in your life where you're never more than 5 feet away from a spider.
Why do you hate me, Dante?
I mean, let's give the kid a break. He's probably gonna have nightmares at this rate.
Just don't play any games where there's giant spiders in it, okay?
No, you see, I love Resident Evil games because I get to kill them with grenade launchers.
Okay, so the giant spiders in video games won't bother you. It's just television and stuff where you can't kill them. Gotcha.
Hate all of you.
So it's human nature to fear things that are not like us very much, and not just at a sociological level, but at a biological species level as well.
It's true. People do just have a tendency to not even not like, just not care. This is why,
Apathy?
like,
I don't think it's apathetic though.
oh,
There's
why?
legit
No,
fear.
it's. I guess this is another aspect. Is just the ability to just push information out of our heads we don't want to think about.
Yeah, people like to get in the comfort zone.
I think that's it. I think like almost
That's
all.
the reason
comfort
why,
zone.
if you undergo trauma, your mind blocks out those traumatic images. Really,
Yeah, they do.
that's the reason why. Your brain tries to go back to the point before the trauma. That's why people have that thing, post-traumatic
PTSD.
memory loss.
Oh, right.
So it's like a defense mechanism. the
Yeah,
brain
it's
has
your
in order to-
mind's natural defense mechanism.
No, like
Because it feels you can't handle all of that at once,
Uh.
so it tries to give you time to process things.
And the,
Or
and the
even-
stress comes
or
from the
even
inability to
all
block
the
it
way.
out.
Yeah.
And okay, so I have clinical depression. Surprise, internet! Actually, the internet already knew. That doesn't matter. So, like, yeah, it does.
Wow.
Your brain does create things to protect itself, no matter how much I don't want it to, because it's so inconvenient. Because really, like, a way to manage and possibly cure depression is to deal with what's causing it. The problem is I can't remember what that is.
That's bad.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
and you know what? Maybe it's not even a sole cause.
yeah, it might be multiple causes.
Oh, that's helping.
I mean,
Well,
you
it
have to
could,
consider the
because-
possibility.
No, I already have, and this is just I don't want to make this show about me, but that's just another aspect. Is human like this? I don't think even I think this is again in our arrogance as humans. Other animals go through depression. Yeah,
I believe it.
the classic one is dogs.
I was gonna say dogs. I mean,
The whole like hanging out by graves for the rest of their lives.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't seem very productive for an animal to survive.
I've seen some sad dogs. Dogs that look like they didn't want to be somewhere. They don't act aggressive. They just act like they have no energy whatsoever.
And that's the thing is depression isn't. We'll probably have a podcast on actual mental disorders.
Ah.
And depression is
would
not
be interesting.
Yeah, depression is not sadness. It's just a loss of vitality. You feel as if the life is being sucked out of you.
Which is worse.
It is a lot worse. I can handle crying, damn it. It's much more annoying to be unable to lift yourself out of bed.
Wow.
Yeah, be thankful.
I never had clinical depression.
You internet people, be thankful.
I've never had clinical depression, but I've been depressed before where I was just like,
No.
I don't feel like it.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, like I said, I've never been.
You've been sad before.
From the
Yeah.
way you describe things, I don't think I've ever been depressed.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been in that.
Live your
I
life.
just found a newfound appreciation for my happiness because I always.
No,
find
and that's the
something
thing
to
is,
make me happy.
I'm happy right now. It's not being happy.
Until I talk about spiders.
I will jam this in your eyes.
For those of you on the internet, he's talking about this lovely little gavel he has in his hand, and that makes him think he's God.
I am God.
See?
The gavel speaketh.
Delusion. Human age.
The gavel creates, the gavel can take away.
human delusion right there. At its finest.
Oh yeah, people desire power. No, but
Great power.
actually, I think you probably brought up the best point.
Which is.
And congratulations for being a first timer.
Thank you.
Of creating a comfort zone.
Uh-huh.
I think all of the things we've talked about today have to do with creating a comfort zone. Like mental blocks, like your brain protecting itself, desiring power, being xenophobic. Honestly, I think
It
all
goes
of these.
much farther than that.
Is
It
it?
can even go to your dietary needs. Like I can speak for myself. I have really strict dietary needs. I can't eat a lot of things. I'm really lactose intolerant, but I still drink milk, eat yogurt, and take ice cream. I just have to remember to take my lactase pills. And
Or,
that's
or
beside
no
the
one wants
point.
to, or no one wants to be around you for the next like
Yeah.
6 hours.
Yeah. But anyhow,
Ooh.
so I grew up with that, and because of that, I can't also eat vegetables for some reason. They
Wait,
give me
vegetables?
and fruits. They give me gag reflex. I don't know why.
I've never.
It's probably a
heard of that.
psychological thing. Something probably happened when I was really little.
It might actually be like
Might be a biology thing.
this might be a fun thing to do. I just did this in bio class. Try getting like a bitter test, a bitter taste test, and you can actually get it. You can get it like synthesized.
Okay.
And the idea, I guess, I forget what they're called, which is really sad because I just did this lab. Is the idea? It's a little piece of paper that you just stick on your tongue, and it's really specifically formulated that it allows you to tell if you have strong bitter reflex.
Okay.
And vegetables are a thing that generally have a more than average bitter
Well, that's
content.
an interesting point. I mean,
And there's ways to fix that. There's ways to cook vegetables. There's a lot of things you can do to make the bitterness go away.
yeah. But anyway,
So.
the point is, so like growing up, I just always was really picky with food.
Mm.
And until now, if I find something I can eat comfortably and I like how it tastes, I can eat it for a year. Like on my Grubhub account, I ordered from the same Chinese restaurant every weekend, and I always got the same thing.
You sound just like my brother.
I kind of do that too, actually.
You see,
know.
I don't
You
at
know,
all.
food trucks. Like I had food trucks for the first time 5 weeks ago, and I had it, and it was really nice. I hadn't had it before because I heard a lot of bad things about food truck, but I tried it, and it was really nice. And guess what?
Well, the food trucks around here are great.
Yeah, right. Awesome.
I get the same thing every single time I go there. Same thing at Subway. They know my order everywhere. Like I don't even have to say anything anymore.
You see, like
Yep.
I can't have the same thing for a week.
That's the thing.
Or I just get bored.
It's about comfort zones. It's what makes me feel comfortable, both physically and psychologically. Physically, I know it's probably not going to accept my stomach, but psychologically, I know, oh, this is good. I have tried this before. Ergo, it's not going to hurt me now.
You see, I'm the exact opposite. I am obsessed with novelty. Like, I actually have, like, really bad spending habits. Because I just, like, you know what I should do? I should replace all my silverware with bamboo.
Wow,
and I did.
That might be an issue.
No, and I did.
Don't go to South America.
I don't want to go to South America.
Good, because they eat tarantulas as a delicacy down there.
I would run like a screaming child.
Nothing wrong with that, because I don't want to eat it either.
I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot of things wrong with that if I was just South Africa. I think they frown on strange screaming white people.
Strange screaming white people. That's an interesting species. We gotta come up with a genus and species name for that.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. But that is a rare thing. But no, you know what? Common denominator, comfort. You know the whole ignorance thing. People that want to be ignorant, comfort. It's like I'm happy not knowing this stuff. I don't care about knowing this stuff. It scares me. So yeah, I'm just gonna be ignorant. Or in some cases, stupid, depending on how you define it. Like,
How you look at it.
You know, and again, the whole distraction thing we were talking about last time. Common denominator, comfort. I am comfortable screaming at the top of my lungs, watching two guys beat up each other in a boxing ring, or a whole group of people chasing a pigskin oval-shaped ball. I'm okay with that. That makes me comfortable.
I think that's largely the community is the thing that you find comfortable. Because I'm convinced that people can't actually enjoy a lot of these things.
What, the football?
On their own, really.
You know what? There it is, yeah.
No,
It's
honestly,
almost a hive mentality in some cases.
I think it is partially like a hive thing. It's like, how many people actually go home, like turn all the lights off and watch sports by themselves?
Not many people. As a matter of fact, they'll even go on if they're watching it by themselves, they'll go on Facebook and make a status every 5 minutes about every single play that's going on, so that other people can interact with them who are also doing the exact same thing.
And I don't even, like, I'm not a big sports person.
Me
I'm just not. I enjoy playing some sports, but it's like that's it. But if there is like a game on and I'm at someone's house or something, I'll watch it with them and I'll enjoy myself. Like Magic, a game I would otherwise think is the stupidest thing ever.
It's because you get to commentate.
No, because you get to comment with friends and yell and be excited about something. I seriously think the only reason anyone enjoys sports is either actively playing them or talking about them.
It's the culture. It's a culture.
Yeah, it's also a culture.
Pro sports is a culture.
No, I think it spreads to everything. I think it spreads to like our forte, video games.
Yeah. But the thing is, I can enjoy video games without talking about them.
Like, see, I really can't. Like,
really?
My big thing is League of Legends.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I know that.
I play sometimes by myself, but I will play for hours if it's if there's someone on Skype and I play with a team with people I know.
I think it's because I grew up during the Atari and Nintendo games where there really wasn't online playing unless you had like a friend with you, but I rarely had friends over my house, so I would play Atari and Nintendo by myself all the time and have a ball, you know. And when you know online gaming kind of came on, it was still great. You know, I still got to talk to people from all around the world playing the game, but I could still sit down and play Pac-Man by myself and enjoy myself.
I think partially it was because every single game that I ever played, my brother played and beat it first.
Ah, so it was kind of a competition thing.
It was kind of a competition. I think
Is that another human trait, competition?
Oh, that's an interesting one because that is not necessarily have to do with making a comfort zone.
I mean, yeah, to be competitive, you really do have to leave your comfort zone.
But no, some people do find comfort in the thrill of competing with people.
Good point.
They feel bored when they're not actually being driven to do something. But when they have a nemesis of some sort, especially when it comes to men trying to date women and there's another guy trying to do the same thing, some men get a thrill off of that. They're like, yeah, you know, I get to beat this guy up or make fun of him. And, you know, and they like that thrill of victory. That's comfort.
Internet trolls, that's their comfort zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Being dicks.
I mean, I totally understand the whole competition thing. I am a really competitive person. I like being the best at everything. If I've never done something before, and I find out someone else is the best at it, I'm gonna learn how to do that.
So go into pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling?
Yes. Be a pro
Do
wrestler.
I look like I can be a pro wrestler?
Good.
I mean,
have you seen Spike Dudley? He's not a big guy at all. He's a skinny
I'm
dude.
6'3", but I really do not have the body for it.
You could still do some kicks
I know I
and
can,
arm
yeah.
holds. You can do an arm bar. You don't have to
But
be
not a
muscular.
face is pretty.
There's a lot of ugly wrestlers out there, okay?
Yeah.
All right, we're not. I don't think this show is about promoting pro wrestling.
Oh, I think
I could be wrong.
Hey, this show might like seeing David get chokeslammed.
I'd rather not have the show about that, but that's just me. That goes outside of my comfort zone.
I'll be chokeslammed. Yeah, that's a shame. Should try something new all the time, David.
Oh, actually, who? I think it was Hillary Clinton. No, she didn't say that. Some lady in the past. One of my favorite lines from this particular person was, "Do something every day that scares you."
I don't think that's really good advice.
Was it?
I think it is.
Was it Eleanor Roosevelt?
Yes, thank you.
It was?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, you see, I think that's
Still
actually
not good advice.
I think it is.
I mean, I don't get scared of a lot of things, just like
Okay. I don't think you have to take it like so
You
literally.
have to be like, oh my god, I'm so scared to touch this thing.
It's just like
Step out your comfort zone.
I've never disarmed a bomb before.
It just means
But I haven't done anything else today.
It just means get uncomfortable once in a while.
Yeah, she
That's
should have
basically
said
what she
that.
said.
Not do what scares you.
I think she was going for a bit of.
No, it's not even saying do what scares you. It's do something every day.
Yeah,
that
I
scares
understood
you.
what she actually meant. I was
So like
playing around.
when I first like it's
Should've
it's
been
I have,
precise.
hyperbole.
I have a magnet of it that's like hanging off of my little fan thingy over my stove. Like I try to live by that. And one of the things is I'm a very outspoken person, if you haven't noticed. And I try to just not be like the crowd. Just walk down the street singing like an idiot.
I don't have to try it. I'm very good at it naturally.
No, it's like even little things. Just like talk to somebody new.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to live. I do that, actually.
No,
if I sit down in a place and I don't know anyone, I'm probably going to be friends with everyone there before I leave.
I love doing that. And I think that's a much healthier way to live instead of just just staring at the ground while walking away.
People tend to approach me for some reason. I won't really engage to many people unless I really deem it necessary, but most people will come to me for some reason. And I'm very open towards it. I'm just like, oh, hey, how you doing, strange person? What's up? And then we'll have a conversation. Next thing you know, we're exchanging numbers and being good friends. Like, I remember one time I went to Miller's Ale House. It's a little restaurant where a lot of people watch sports and all that stuff and eat seafood, whatever. And I was sitting by myself, and then there was like a whole group of like 4 or 5 guys, and they was just like, hey, what's up, dude? How you doing? I was like, hello? And it was like, hey, don't sit over there, man. Come chill with us. Come talk. I was like, okay. And I moved all my food to the next table. We all just had a big old conversation, had a great time.
Yeah.
And I'm a loner.
You see, I'm not.
That is how to live.
That's my comfort
think
zone
that-
is leave me the heck alone.
Wow. Wow.
Lame.
Awesome.
Alright, I might just get this out there right now. Internet, in case you didn't already know, I am an adrenaline junkie. I love
He likes roller coasters.
I'm actually, forgive my language, an incredible bitch.
I am a coward. I don't care.
I enjoy parkour and free running.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, David
but
is a
I
parkour
cannot handle roller coasters.
Me neither.
Probably because I'm really afraid of heights.
I have a fear of heights, but guess what? I went to Dubai and I went to the Burj Khalifa. That's the tallest building in the world, and I got to the 12th floor. As high as I could go. I can't remember exactly what number that was.
I'm not that
I would,
scared.
I
I
stared
would
out
probably
the
get
window.
dizzy to the point of falling over.
I would be amazed
I was
by
so
it.
dizzy, my heart was pumping. I could hear my heartbeat.
Probably lack
You
of
know-
oxygen.
That was probably one of
It's like that I woke up in a hospital and there was like blood all over me and I really don't know what happened.
Oh my god.
Fear,
Well, I do like
fear
the
is
thrill.
very.
It
human.
wasn't my blood.
That's probably why I like competition, really. I just put that together. That's probably why I do
Yeah.
like competition. I like the thrill, just going for the proverbial kill. I'm not a serial killer.
fear. So fear is very human.
Fear is a
No, I
human-
think fear is very human, and facing fears
I feel
is
there's
what is kind of like the epitome of being human.
I've heard this said
But
before.
is that a fact though?
No, I've totally heard this before, that there's 2 types of fear. There's productive and there's non-productive fear. Productive fear is the kind of fear that will keep you alive. When you trust your instincts, I trust my instincts a lot. If my instincts tell me, pick that up, I don't know what it is, I will pick it up. Except I can clearly tell it's really, really something that might harm me. But otherwise...
Porcupine covered in cyanide? Or someone needs a cuddle.
Or like my instinct tell me just go through that door right now. Like that might be my crazy part talking.
I think that's your crazy part talking.
But I just
normally
really,
if I have an inclination to go through a door, I'm like, what the hell is this?
It's funny.
It's
funny because we were talking about
that
instinct.
doesn't even happen to me.
We were talking about instinct.
I'm way too like cold and logical.
No, I am really
last time.
logical about a lot of things, but every now and then I feel in order to make good decisions, it's part logic, part instinct.
So it's like a survival thing.
Yeah.
It's a survival.
But I see, like I am a firm like antagonistic against the notion of instinct.
I
we were talking about
instinct.
that last time. It was funny.
Okay, let me put this out there now.
Sure.
Nigeria is a really, really dangerous place to live.
I would kind of imagine.
The police are non-functioning. In fact, I don't really know where the nearest police station to my house is, honestly, because it's useless. We don't have ambulances either. Hospitals are a waste. So basically, my point is, you're responsible for your own safety. Now, imagine living in a place like that, right?
Imagine if America was like that.
Oh my god, it'd be like in the movies. But anyways, back to the point. Just imagine living in a place like that where anyone could get up on the street and pull out a gun and rob you in broad daylight in front of everyone, and hardly anyone will lift a finger to help you. Just imagine that.
Sounds almost like America.
It sounds like Camden.
yeah, pretty much. Or Detroit, or even Chicago now.
I mean, believe me, it's much worse.
No, it is. Like there's repercussions to criminals. There's deterrence in America for criminals.
Yeah, Nigeria.
In a lot of other countries, there's just isn't.
Yeah, we really
Nigeria's
don't.
It's kind of like a
post-apocalyptic
almost.
I'm not gonna say post-apocalyptic. A lot of places might be like that, but I'm just gonna talk about where I live.
Okay.
In particular,
which sounds dangerous enough.
It is really dangerous. I don't go out my house past 6 p.m.
I mean, I was an ex-army soldier, and I'd still be scared.
You see, and that's why these kind of places kind of bring up like a lot of the worst of people.
I would say they do,
but I think the reason is it's almost a necessity. It's like the only way to get by for a lot of people.
It also also teaches you how to trust your base instincts. If you sense danger in any way, you might not be able to observe it.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
But once you have better to be afraid of the shadows.
Yeah, once you have that feeling, just act on it. And that's how I was raised. And so I just always trust my gut. This
makes a lot of sense because I've lived a very privileged life and I'm very thankful for it. But it actually made that sense basically not exist. Like I've pretty much been extremely I can take my time and think about the situation.
Yeah.
Instead
of 911. I don't even know what the emergency number is. I don't think we have one, honestly.
It's like I'm
where I live right now.
I'm calling my government out in case you didn't notice.
Are they gonna let you return?
If they don't let me, I'll be happy.
So I'm like the weird mix of you.
Wow,
like, I wasn't born in a really dangerous area, but it wasn't the most privileged either. So it was like, for the most part, I was protected. I had a really good neighborhood and everything. But at the same time, danger was still there. And when it occurred, sometimes it went unreported. I mean, like my area for some reason was attractive to stray dogs, and we had some pretty nasty stray dogs around. We also had bullies who came in groups all the time, and like they beat up my best friend right in front of me, and there was much I could.
Wow.
It wasn't much I could do about it. I mean, I kind of had that survival instinct, that whole sixth sense, as they call it, quote unquote. But at the same time, it was just like, for the most part, I know that a giant helicopter of death isn't going to come down and launch a missile at me or anything like that. Nothing outrageous, but there was still danger there, and I still had to be on my P's and Q's.
Yeah.
So, and then when I went to the Army, that instinct kind of sense kind of heightened a bit, because it's like, even though I've only been to South Korea, which wasn't too far from North Korea where I was posted at, in Egypt where they were still beefing over Israel.
Yeah.
I still had to rely on that instinct a little bit. If anything looked weird, I definitely had to let other people know.
You just have to act on it.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it wasn't a full-out war. I didn't have to worry about a mortar hitting me in the head.
Yeah, or a stray bullet just flying by.
Yeah,
really.
thank goodness. I wasn't around during the whole era.
There's a lot of people in Nigeria that get killed by stray bullets.
That's scary.
It's a really terrifying statistic.
And it's like a norm for over there, right?
Yeah.
All right, we are out of time. Sorry, guys, but thank you for listening. Everyone, this is the Drexel Free Thought Society. Sorry to cut you guys off, but we
Yeah,
got to
that's fine.
stop the show. Bye.
Is human